Payne put together a solid game plan 2 weeks in a row, so this is a big.
But overall, I can't complain too much. We just need to be the Bills.
This defense performed at an exceptional level against very good teams.
This was our third win in a row. Very happy. I'm just concerned about Hey everyone, it's Tina, and welcome to the inaugural Mile High Minute. If anyone was like me watching tonight's game on Monday Night Football, it was an interesting one, and I'm not going to lie, as you can see from the smile on my face, I was very, very happy with the outcome. So, just going to give you my thoughts and the thoughts of a couple of people that I tend to hang out with almost every week. You're going to get to meet my friends Gavin. He will talk about the good parts of the game. My friend Steve is going to talk about the bad parts of the game. And then Todd is going to talk about the ugly. So, lead it off, boys. Okay, Gavin, why don't you give me what you think was good about tonight's game?
Probably the best part was that the Bills put 12 men on the field. They handed us the entire game on a silver platter so many times, and we finally took it. Vance Joseph's defense showed up tough today. It was pretty unbelievable. The run game got away from us at the end of the game, but overall, the new scheme, whatever he's doing, seems to be working. I mean, we just beat the Chiefs, now the Bills. That's great. I really love Miner's run block.
What did you think about Javonte?
Javonte got his motor going late. He finally found some holes busted up by Keith Miner. So he's getting there. He's not quite 100% the Williams that we know, but he's like 92% there, I would say. Sutton had an up and down game. Judy, for the 3 catches he had, came down solid. Huge play at the end there to draw the pass interference. Field goal special teams unit, terrible. But we're talking about the good stuff. Will Lutz finally sunk one, so that's great. Finally. And Sean Payne put together a solid game plan 2 weeks in a row. So this is a big signature win again for Sean Payne.
Okay, now we're going to move to the bad. Steve.
Oh, I thought it was the ugly, but I'm the bad.
You're the bad.
Oh, okay. Kicking game. Kicking game was awful. I was a fairly strong fan of McManus. We call him McMoney back in the day. And he's still doing well now that he's moved on to the Broncos, but Lutz is not doing so great. And didn't cost us today. We managed to pull it out, but it leaves me worried about the rest of the season. But overall, I can't complain too much. We just beat the Chiefs and the Bills. And I feel like the future is bright. We're heading to the playoffs.
Okay.
Who knows? We'll see what happens.
And Todd, you get the ugly.
I'm talking about the ugly. And you know what's ugly? I'll tell you what's ugly is the calls for Vance Joseph be fired in September. Because in the last 3 weeks, we have totally owned Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Jordan Love.
Jordan Love must.
That's his name, right? Jordan Love?
Jordan Love.
And so what I would say is that we did not have our players in the early part of the season. Right?
Right.
Who knows that? But this defense is performing on an exceptional level against very good teams. The turnover ratio is crazy. Simmons is playing out of his mind. The linebacker crew, which did not have a great September, I'm not going to... hey, they had us in the first month, but I will say that this defense is becoming strong again like they were before, and they really showed it today because they did not give up when we could not score touchdowns after we had turnovers. So the ugliness is the fact that people wanted to give up on the Broncos this season. Don't give up. Here we come. 500 next week, and then we'll see what happens to the Browns.
So where are we going next?
We are going on to Minnesota.
On to Minnesota.
Well, now that I let the boys talk, I'm going to talk. about what I thought was the good, bad, and the ugly about the game. Good. I'm going to run through some stats and stuff, and there was actually a lot good in this game. There was a lot that was bad, and there's also a lot that was really, really ugly. So the good was, this was our third win in a row. Very happy. I was concerned about this game. I thought we had a chance to win, but I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to pull it out. And the defense was able to do that for us. But there were a couple of people on the offense that I do want to reach out. Russell Wilson had 24 for 29 attempts with 193 yards. He also had 2 TDs, and for once, he didn't throw an interception in a game. So that's good. Javonte, my friend Gavin we mentioned Gavin mentioned Javonte. He had 21 attempts for 79 yards. He had 4 catches for 34 yards, and he also got 1 TD. Jerry Jeudy, good Lord, drawing that pass interference call in the last 35 seconds of the game. Mwah. Beautiful. It was awesome. All right. Sutton, if you didn't watch the game, please go and find his 7-yard TD catch at the end of the first quarter. Talk about a classic case of teaching somebody about dragging your foot. That was a beautiful catch. According to the Next Gen stats, there was a 3.2% chance of catchability of that thing, and he hauled it in, and he got it. It was initially called incomplete, but on review it got overturned, and we got our first TD of the night. As I mentioned, defense, they were phenomenal. They forced 4 turnovers and 2 interceptions from Josh Allen. I'm going to call out Jaquan McMillan. He's a newer guy. We brought him up when we had injuries in our defense, and that guy is just amazing. Him punching that ball out from James Cook's hands and on the first drive by the Bills was just a thing of beauty. It was awesome. Pat Surtain, my lovely little corner that I love, held Stephon Diggs to 3 catches of 34 yards. And Stephon also had a drop too. So, all right, the bad. For me, the bad part of it is one of our free safeties. His name is PJ Locke. We just got him back like 2 weeks ago, and he left the game with an ankle injury. So for me, that's the bad, because PJ's good. He brings experience to the free safety position and helping out with the defense, and he's somebody that will be hard to replace. Turner Yell will probably replace him, but Turner's a lot younger and his experience isn't as good. So the ugly, and there was a lot of ugly. I'm not going to go into field goals, neither of the extra points. The guys already covered all of that. I'm going to cover something new. Our run defense was really bad in areas. Latavius Murray ran for 9 attempts for 68 yards and got a TD, and James Cook ran for 12 and got 109 yards. Their run game was really, really good, and I'm not gonna lie, there was times when that was going on that I was like, I could see this not going our way. The other thing that was ugly, oh, good Lord, the offensive penalties were offensive. I mean, Powers got called for it. Bowles got called for one. He hasn't had one in a long time. And Cushenberry got called for, I think, 3 holding penalties. And McGlinchey was back to McFlinchy in this game. There was false starts, there was holding, it was all of it. So that's the quick little Mile High Minute. Yeah, it was a little bit more than a minute, but I had a lot to say. On to Minnesota. And that's going to be an interesting game too, because Josh Dobbs is showing a lot for him taking over in Minnesota since Kirk Cousins went down and Jalen Hall also went down too. So I'm going to find that's going to be an interesting game next week. And again, it's another night game. It's a Sunday night game. So, all right, that's from the Mile High Minute. And this is Tina saying sayonara and good night.